Hello, Aries. This is going to be your 7-day love and life forecast for April 19th to the 26th. Right? You just had a big week. Happy birthday. You closed out your season. This is a whole new year for you. So let's see how it begins. All right. We have soul agreement this week. And this makes sense for you so far. So I'm going to shuffle the cards and pull out a card for each day. Now, this is your new year, right? There's going to be some new people coming into your life. There's going to be a new purpose coming into your life. What hasn't been serving you was probably one of the biggest things you've had to recently go through. The new moon, a lot of planets, a lot of things going on in Aries, kind of activated and brought up some stuff that just are not, that old chapter of you's over. So now it's sort of like a Fool energy for you. And, this week with some of the shifts, the first couple of days may be a little bit more earthy and grounded, but it's sort of integrating what you've already learned, what you've known, or what's already happened. And now by the end of the week, I'm telling you, things are going to shift when it comes to communication, the kind of information that you hear, that you get, the way you connect with others, the way others connect with you. This is going to be a random type of week. Now, this energy is going to last for a long time collectively, but for you specifically, it's around, the way you connect with others and sudden messages and information. So, just things are not going to seem like the way they used to always be, right? This is going to be a week where there could be a call, a text from somebody, totally unexpected, and also new people, right? So some of you, if you're open to, new people, this is going to be just a lot of new connections, and the way we once communicated with people is not going to work anymore either. So some of you, that's going to be a really good thing. If you've been dealing with people that just avoid you, they don't confront, things head on, where you like to do that. You feel like you have to maybe indirectly try to get information out of people. This kind of energy shifting. People are going to be a lot more communicative. So let's see, Sunday, today, right? 4 of Swords. Maybe you're recouping, right? Maybe the Spirit's asking you to give yourself this moment of silence. Somebody could have pulled away from you right now. You could have just recently had a confrontation. Again, like I said, there's a moment of truth, right? When you have the 4 of Swords, it means that you heard something, or you said something, or you figured something out that disappointed you. And again, this could even be just internally. You've dealt with something, a big wound that came up for you, and you've had a lot of activity this past week. And so now it's sort of giving yourself a break, a mental break, and sitting back. So Sunday is asking you today, especially if you're finding yourself overwhelmed with all that's been going on, try to breathe through this day and get ready for the week to come, because this energy is going to shift. Now, Monday, we see the Ace of Wands, your energy. Look at how the shift already begins. There's something coming in for you, a conversation. All right, finally, maybe you've been thinking about what you're going to say. Maybe somebody else has been pulling away because they're trying to think about what they want to say to you. All right, so it could be frustrating. So remember, I'm trying to give you these predictions so you can get ahead of the game. I know the energy that's coming in, the transits that are coming in, and things like that. So it's easy for me to help you with the tarot cards to say, meditate on these cards as they're coming in, because you can be prepared for them. So you don't want to get ahead of yourself on Sunday and reach out when you're being asked to sort of pull back, or if somebody pulls their energy back. Let it be and do a reset, because Monday is going to be very activated. All right. It just feels like there's a lot of truth telling here, something that's unavoidable, especially with the Ace of Wands. It's like something's going to get sparked up, a conversation in a relationship. Somebody may say something or that hasn't been said yet, or something you've been waiting for them to say, right? Or you do, right? And if this has already happened, there's more clarity on that coming in. Somebody may come back and say, we overreacted, right? So Sunday's energy is asking you not to act from anger. So if you feel very frustrated with somebody that they've said something, or they didn't say something to you, or they didn't reach out, Monday you're going to get that clarity. So depending on how you act today, hopefully not out of anger, you will notice that things get sparked up again on Monday, and there's a chance to process or make sense of what, or maybe even you feel even like you can articulate your words better on Monday to be able to express what you really mean to say to somebody. And so this is asking you to clear your mind and speak directly. But also on the flip side of that, somebody could be clearing their mind and then getting ready to speak to you directly on Monday. All right. So honesty is pushing somebody, and this energy is pushing somebody to speak their truth. Now, Tuesday, it looks like things really start to move past this energy and pick up, right? It looks like we're making choices. This is where we're getting closer. This is Gemini energy. This is air energy. And as we move towards Thursday and Friday, we're getting more of this Gemini activation that's going to be activating one of your houses that talks about all the information, all the people around you, all your connections. Things moving really fast on Tuesday. So this could be information overload. Be careful of your assumptions and your choices on Tuesday, because with this energy here, you can choose to go back to what you assumed before. You can make irrational decisions too fast. You can feel pulled too fast. You could get ahead of yourself. But also it's an energy that says we're getting ready to, we have a purpose here, right? So going back to this soul agreement, life purpose and soul plan, on Tuesday, it feels like you've been activated to really make some choices that will benefit you moving forward. This is where you could get unexpected communication from random people, random information in all your life, other areas of your life. It doesn't have to just be love, but you have a lot of motion happening here, a lot of movement happening here, and it can be very fun and lighthearted. And it can seem like you're just on point. You're mentally clear. You're ready to make a decision, especially when it comes to relationships, right? So lots of communication here. But again, remember to slow down if you feel like things are getting too far ahead. Wednesday, I see the 5 of Wands. So there could be an energy of conflict, competition, and some tension on Wednesday. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. We have the 5 of Wands. So we're seeing a lot of people around you, a lot of activity around Wednesday. All right. So this could be where also there's some more consequences or conflict that might, or challenges that might come up. Right. So this is where decisions, you may have to make some decisions that stress out people, or you're stressed out. Right. Because if people are not on the same plan as you, or not moving as fast as you are, or fighting you, or trying to hold you back, this is where it's going to get complicated on Wednesday. Right? You can't fix everybody's problems. You can't take everybody with you. There could be people making drama around you. They don't like the choices you're making, or they feel like, wait, what's Aries doing? Aries seems to be on a mission, seems to, but you have no time for this, right? So pay attention to other people on Wednesday that are causing unnecessary conflict for you, right? There may be people trying to challenge you. There could be ego battles, struggles that day, right? But what this tells me here too is that you really have a plan. You're on a mission. You know what you want. Don't, try to avoid entanglements with people, because the communication, if people are meant to be on your path this week, they are going to be clear. It is the conversations, the situations are going to be clear for you. The direction, you're not going to be playing games with people or having to fight for what you want, or argue with people to get what you want. But this could also be a good day though too, to end conflict, right? I want to throw that out there as well. Like you may find that, all right, I'm ready to confront this. I'm ready to tell somebody how I feel. I'm ready to face something I've been avoiding. And or other people around you may come towards you with things that have been bothering them, and they're ready to confront them. So this is the day of change. Wednesday is going to be the ultimate day of who's with me, who's not with me, and we're finding some sort of resolution. And this is how we're dealing with conflict. You're going to notice that there's a change in the way people are dealing with conflict around you. There seems to be maybe even more compromise, or shaking hands and working together too. Like figuring out solutions to problems is going to be on Wednesday if the people who are in your life are really in it to win it with you. Right. And so the connection, this could also be something sudden that comes into your life too, that may, you could possibly react to. Be aware of frustration or anger on that day too, as well, because somebody else could pull you out of alignment. All right. So that is going to be one of these fiery days. And so you're going to want to call in some quieter energy and be ready for this. Be ready for anybody trying to push your buttons. Thursday. All right, so Thursday, Friday, and going into the weekend is where some of the energy begins. All right, when it comes to a shift in communication, a shift in the way you think, the way you process. All right, I am seeing, there could be some doubts coming up around people that you're talking to. You could get in your head on Thursday. There could be a lot of information. You could be trying to analyze everything. This is your energy. Sometimes you may be feeling like you don't have the answers, but you do, or you're misreading somebody, but you're not. People are being pretty clear. If somebody's trying to confuse you, somebody's not being honest with you, you're going to see it. You're going to try and talk yourself through it, but you'll be able to see clearly people's intentions on Thursday. There's a lot of information coming in. I am also seeing too that there could be a lot of flirting on Wednesday too, because this does bring like competition around you, like people trying to get your attention and people, really fighting for your attention. And this can bring up attraction too, right? A lot of underlying tension between you and another person. And then on Thursday, it could just feel like, am I understanding everything correctly? Did I get did I read the signs correctly? So just be aware that on Thursday, with all the information that's coming towards you, remember that outside people could be sending negative things or saying negative things. Try not to let this affect your new way of thinking. It's not really your problem to fix again too. So I do feel like when it comes down to the soul, the purpose, the life purpose this week, there's going to be a huge contrast with people that you just click with or don't click with anymore. You don't connect with what people are saying anymore, and it could be very frustrated. But this is going to be a good day for you to release certain toxic energies around you, even beliefs that you have about people. You may notice something that you just can't unsee anymore. You may notice that people are saying things and they're just not being authentic. All right, so pay attention to these energy, and there could be an unexpected conversation. Again, somebody here, you are seeing something spark up for you, some interest here, but there could be other people, there could be some jealousy around you or things like that, because things might be looking good for you and you might be misreading other people, trying to question why do I feel this energy? Why are people saying these things, right? Because it's almost like you're changing and you're looking good and you're feeling good, and there's a underlying maybe jealousy around you with other people. All right. So Friday, we're seeing the King of Pentacles. There's somebody of influence. Somebody could influence you this week when it comes to your work, finance, money, maybe grounding in, maybe some information coming in that makes you feel a little bit more stable about where your future's going. I do see a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This could be a new love interest with the Ace of Wands. This could be where, if you look back at the week, somebody trying to get your attention, something sparks, a conversation sparks. But by the end of the week, it seems like plans are really kind of settling in. Like you really kind of know what this person wants, what they're interested in. And this person could influence your life in a way, this could last long term too. This is where you could have an unexpected conversation from this person. And it also could be a new kind of connection coming into your life, and you may hear about it from somebody else, right? That somebody's interested in you, right? This could be a new job position too. This could be you also making new plans for your future, like having a clear goals coming in as well. But I am seeing romantic partner, somebody, a soul, a life purpose here. So this could be a week where it begins, a new relationship begins for you. Now, Saturday, we're seeing the Chariot card. And so you can see the shift here that's happening. I'm seeing for you this week, the biggest thing is, facing things directly with that Knight of Swords, confronting, certain battles or people in your life that are just not vibing with you anymore, but also confronting some challenge that you may have with somebody from the past. Now, right now in the current energy is saying, give it a couple days, because you can see that it picks up. And by next weekend, like the direction your life is going in this conversation and this person that enters your life is moving forward smoothly. It's like we have a clear direction and we know where we're going. But there's a couple days where it's really important that you make the right decisions. And the people that you're struggling with communication, that's a clear sign that this might be somebody that you need, or people that you might need to pay less attention to. and not let them get in your head. All right, because we do see you're going somewhere. There could be an unplanned trip somewhere actually next weekend too, where things are actually going to be feeling so much different from where you started today. All right, so let's get what's the bottom of the deck. Look at this, the Ace of Pentacles. I didn't even see this, but we are moving into the Sun in Taurus too, and you're seeing this integration happen in here. So I know that you've been probably closing a lot of things. You've been going through some tension, but now you're seeing the two aces show up for you. Something more permanent and something worth your investment is starting right now. And by next weekend, you're seeing a clear direction. Now, any advice for you? I'm seeing the Knight of Cups. All right, this is new romance. This is communicating differently in relationships. This is somebody coming in with messages around romance for you. And it's you following your heart, right? And trusting this new avenue, this new path you're going on. All right, so I do see a possibility of making plans with a date this week, but you are being asked to follow your heart, and there could be people trying to fight you with this week. Just be aware of that, Aries. I love you guys. Happy birthday, Taurus. Welcome to your April 19th through 26th day-by-day breakdown. All right, it's going to be a big week for you, a big week for everybody in a sense of lots of mental activity, communication this week. But we got a big shift happening that is ending a long period that has been disrupting your sign. And it is now moving into Gemini, which is Uranus. So you are closing up a huge chapter of your life. And look at this. The first energy I get for the week is luck around you. Good luck. We have fire energy, wishes being granted, and a blessing this week. So let's do it day by day. Again, I hope you have a wonderful birthday. This is going to be your new solar return, a whole new fresh year, making plans. And this has kind of been a tense energy the past week too, so maybe some things have come to the surface. But this is going to be a week of some truths coming up, unexpected messages and clarity for you. All right, so Sunday today, right? Let's see. Hopefully you get this in time. I see the Eight of Swords. All right. So this energy is always in your head, always kind of overthinking things, overwhelmed by things. Again, something could be coming up that is surfacing. Some hidden truth is surfacing. Something maybe you didn't see coming. And this can be in your head too about a relationship. You might be thinking things, doubting things, or reflecting on things. Something could come up that you didn't think about before, but it's really not. I don't want to say it's as bad as you think. I feel like it's more about closure coming up so that it can surface and you can clear it out type of energy. But it's something maybe also that you haven't been saying about a relationship that you've been kind of dealing with on the inside. And it's about, maybe it's time for you to confront this as well. Again, it may not be as bad as you think. You may need to say something to someone, or, finally, get clarity on something and just, or you're realizing some truth that maybe is stressing you out about a situation. But getting it off your chest and having this conversation this week seems like a week that it could turn in a direction that you least expect. Could be a blessing. Like we're seeing, you do have good luck around you. So Monday, Queen of Swords. So we are seeing you're a lot more clear-headed. There could be a person of influence, somebody that says something that influences the way you think today. Right? You may hear information, a truth about something, and it's the same theme. It's the same theme. It seems like it could be really coming up for you on Sunday, but Monday you'll have clarity about it. Now this is bringing a conversation in. This is talking about something that you've been holding back. This is something where secrets do come out, and it doesn't have to be dramatic. And like I said, it could be just to yourself. It could be thoughts and about future plans and about the way you've been seeing things. It could be a major shift in your perspective around the relationship you're in. Now, there could be a person that you're dealing with on Monday, and this could be happening to them, and you might be clarifying something for them. And this could be also just a new person coming into your life that influences your life in some crazy way, right? So always be open to that. You have a lot of air energy, so a lot of mental energy right now. Tuesday, right now we're seeing new things coming in for you. A lot of choices on Tuesday. A lot of opportunities opening up on Tuesday, a lot of surprises on Tuesday. All right, you may have more options than you realize. Maybe you were thinking on Sunday, I'm stuck in this position. I don't know. You're doubting things. You have a decision you need to make, and you're feeling like, I'm not good enough. The Queen of Swords and the Eight of Swords can be somebody who is being really hard on themselves, criticizing themselves, critiquing everything. What if, what this, what that. But on Tuesday, you're seeing that you have more options, more choices available for you than you could even imagine. There could be new opportunities coming in, new doorways opening up, things that expand your mind. And for those of you that are single too, this could be somebody in your life is talking to you about other opportunities, bringing other opportunities into your life. Somebody has new projects for you when it comes to love. Somebody has new prospects when it comes to love. Somebody may even be telling you that they've been really thinking about you. All right, this is somebody that has been considering a future, or considering dating, or considering where the relationship can go. And there's a lot of feelings in here. So somebody's really been on their mind. You've been on somebody's mind, all right? So be open to options and choices on Tuesday. Wednesday, Seven of Swords, right? There's the confession. There's the secret coming out. All right. So Wednesday, this is where it fully is coming to light. Your birthday energy is activated, and, you're really there's a lot of good energy working for you, right? So I feel like you're going to be able to see through anything, right? And so stay grounded this week. Feels like somebody can't tiptoe around something anymore. Somebody really wants to confess. And it could even be you. You're ready to tell somebody some truth. You're making some choice. On Wednesday, it feels like you have a lot of options and you have a lot on your mind. And maybe you can't hide something anymore, right? So you've been trying to hide the way you feel about something, but it's not working. So again, this kind of energy this week is about communication. Uranus and Venus going into Gemini as we move forward towards the weekend. And this is where these shifts are coming in. It's like, this is a new time, a new way to connect to the people around us. No more holding back, right? You know clearly what you want and what you do not want. So it seems to me like this energy that's shifting on Monday, Sunday and Monday, most likely both days combined, is really putting you in a place of, I can see through everything right now. So if I know exactly, so if you're not being honest with me, I'm going to see it. So I will say, be prepared to hear something that in this energy, it's always unexpected. And it doesn't have to be negative, okay? It doesn't, but it does mean that somebody's going to be transparent. Somebody's going to say something that maybe you thought one way. They were hiding their feelings, but they could be even expressing, their true feelings towards you. So it doesn't have to be a sneaky, deceptive energy, but it does show that somebody is confessing something they've been hiding. Now, Thursday, this is probably the best day of the week, all right? Now, you have the Nine of Wands here, and it's feeling like you've really pushed yourself. You've been kind of stressed out. You've been kind of hanging in there, and, there's been a lot. Maybe you have a lot on your plate, right? But Thursday is showing like you are strong. This is a don't give up. This is things are actually working. This could be when luck comes in for you. Just when you think you can't handle anymore, there's a break for you. There's some help coming in. There's a clear pathway. You're finally feeling relief from all the work you put into something. And you're getting through some sort of ongoing battle that you've dealt with, and you're seeing the definite finish line. All right, so this is my wounded warrior. This is the strength, the heart of a warrior. And it feels really good for you, like you're accomplished. You've accomplished something. So very magnetic day for you. This could be when a blessing comes in and things start to really ease up for you, and work and life just starts to get a little bit easier. Now, Friday, we're seeing love. This is where it really, okay, this is This is messages. This is love language. This is somebody expressing themselves towards you. This is, maybe you're feeling a need to express yourself, right? There could be a crush happening. There could be somebody that you've been waiting on a conversation. Remember, Gemini energy is all about the way we process, the way we think, the way we talk, the way we connect to others. Somebody may be changing their stance with you and deciding to open up emotionally and expressing. Could even be I love you, a flirtatious communication. Right? This is very activated. This is talking about a new beginning in love. So everything shifts here. We see that we're getting through some sort of truth being revealed, communication, and then it moves into this energy of love, communicating how we feel. Anything is possible. This could be a new kind of person coming into your life as well. Stay open for that new communication. Maybe you're not used to it. Maybe somebody's expressing their love by the way they're talking to you, the way they might bring you a gift. They might do something, right? It is your birthday. You could get a gift. But things become possible. Relationships change at this time. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's Friday. Now Saturday, we're seeing the Magician. So game on. All right, a whole new weekend coming in for you where, the power's in your hand here. You're starting a new relationship or you're attracted to somebody new. Somebody's attracted to you. But the Magician is talking about, making it work, things coming together, and you're at this place where pay attention to what you're focused on, again, with the communication, because what you desire, you easily have access to it this weekend with the Magician. Magic around you. This card to me is like, what as above, so below. What you believe within is going to happen without. So something good is happening here, and it depends on where you choose to focus and what you want with it. But it looks like something is working out for you. And again, this is where the blessing is coming in and wishes being granted. So if you're worried about something today, just know by next weekend, you're going to be in a whole different position. Be aware of Wednesday energy. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday energy seems to be one of the top days here where, and it's like the moon hit, I think Jupiter on that day, right? And so this is where things could be expanded. So truths could be expanded, lies could be expanded, just being able to see through things, right? So I love you guys. Let's see one more card for advice. The Ace of Cups. Open up your heart. There is new love starting for you. This is your fresh restart for the year. So happy birthday, and know that this is the beginning of a whole new cycle. Gemini, this is your week. And it's not even your birthday. April 19th to the 26th, your love daily forecast each day. All right. So let's see, because by the end of the week, that's going to be your most magnetic days, right? That's when the signs shift, Uranus and Venus shift into your energy. But open to the unexpected. You'll find a way. This is perfect. Nothing is impossible. I want you to remember that this week. That is your mantra. Now you're going to be, you're going to notice some energy shifting. You're going to notice a lot. You're going to notice a lot of communication. This is kind of up your alley. This is going to be clarity coming in this week, especially if you've been confronted with, situations that have left you kind of feeling like, what the hell, what's going on here? All right. So let's take a look at day by day. I'm feeling like you may, if you haven't already, somebody's going to reveal their true intentions this week. Right? It could be in love. It could be general. It does not matter. Now, and it could be good. It could be what you've already expected. It could be, oh, I didn't see that coming. All right. So and that's pretty much, the theme of the week for almost everybody. So be aware of that. But something will come to a head. Maybe pay attention to your friends, especially. Somebody could say something. They could be saying something. I'm a Scorpio. I tend to try to look at, be always wary and skeptical of certain things. You might be wanting somebody or giving somebody, saying something to somebody, wanting them to say something, and they may not relay it the way you intended to. All right. So it's sort of like that telephone game. And maybe somebody doesn't always have your best interest at heart, especially if it's a love relationship. So be careful. Again, that's my Scorpio side. It's like you want people to have good intentions. You want to believe they do. But this week, those things could be coming up. And I am seeing the Eight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So this can be telling me that pay attention to the people around you, right? Don't be scared. Don't be like, going out there with the binoculars or keeping your ears peeled open, peeled open so that you can, find something or see something that's not there. It'll be pretty obvious, I think, with this energy, if it's there at all. So Sunday, right now, the Hermit card, maybe you're hanging out by yourself. Maybe that's a good thing. That's okay. So hopefully you get this early enough. And if you're thinking or feeling like, somebody's pushing you into plans, or, somebody's trying to get you out of the house, sometimes the Hermit card can say it's a good thing. Now, if you're the type that stays at home all day long and somebody's trying to get you out of your cave, this could be, hey, give it a chance. Go see where this is taking you. This could be a new path. This could be interesting. Or if you've been stuck in the house and you just want to go somewhere and, meditate, right? Like everybody loves to meditate. But it could be going for a walk or doing something and doing some soul searching, right? Just kind of a quiet day. So if you're anxious with this energy and somebody has pulled their energy away from you, or somebody is quiet, this is saying somebody wants to be alone right now, right? Or somebody is, in a introverted energy. So don't panic, right? It's just kind of a quiet day. And that to you might feel uncomfortable, especially if you've had a lot going on. But then again, if you've had a lot going on, this is saying, Sunday is the day to rest, to spend some time alone. Monday, the Judgment card. All right. So Monday. All right. This is where, you may be kind of thinking about what happened on the past week or happened yesterday, Sunday, right? And you've had time to process. Something needs to change. You need a new direction. You're seeing truths clearly here, having some epiphanies and realizations. Very strong Scorpio energy. And it's funny that I said that at the beginning, because maybe some of you have some strong Scorpio placements, or you're dealing with a Scorpio placement, but Scorpio looks at the deep psychological truth of things, right? So you can't hide from these decisions, right? You're making clear decisions and you're seeing who's being honest. And this could also be a day of forgiveness too, as well. So if somebody may be confessing to you this week, or somebody has said something, or somebody has pulled their energy away, there may be a coming back in to turn things around. I may have blamed you, I may have guilted you, or I may have judged you poorly. And it also can be this weekend, maybe you're judging yourself for some of the decisions that you've made in the past, right? So again, a more self-reflective day on Sunday that leads to some important decisions on Monday. This could be moving in a new direction with relationships too. You may be making important decisions around who you can trust and who you can't. All right. Something between you and another person is obviously coming to a head where you're realizing some sort of truth. All right. So, Tuesday, we have the Emperor. Look at the major arcana that's showing up for you. I'm telling you, this is your week. I mean, I could go deep. I could go for a while. We could kind of pick all this apart. But I want you to remember these cards each day, because this is major arcana. This is big truths. The universe, God, speaking big truths, showing you where you may lack confidence, showing you where you need to push more, showing you where you need to step up and take accountability. This is you and your power, authority on Tuesday. Tuesday is a very Marsy energy. This is, it's ruled by Mars, and this is Aries energy, right? So this is having the courage to step up and do what you need to do, get things in order, be confident about things, making peace with your decisions that you may have made, right? Showing up and standing up and creating boundaries for yourself, especially if you're dealing with people that, you've had to deal with something that comes to a head. Because remember, the Eight of Swords here, the theme here is, you may be dealing with some doubts about people. We'll question them this week. This is one of these weeks where, don't sit there and let it sit in your head. If you see something, confront it. The Emperor card, this could be a good day for something around work, around business, stepping up, around authority figures, right? So keep in mind too, with a lot of this activity when it comes to communication, it's the way we deal with people. So you are being asked to speak more authoritatively, but also respect authority. If some of you tend to have a problem with authority. Again, you have the Judgment card. So, this is a chance for you to do over or make a better choice. Because there could be something around authority confronting higher ups or confronting people. But also this could also put you in a position where you're the one who's in authority and you have to call all the shots. Wednesday seems to be, I'm noticing so far with Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, Wednesday seems to be some conflict, right? Something's going to expand. Something is going to come to light. That could confuse you again, right? There could be overthinking things, trying to fix things for everybody, trying to over-explain yourself, trying to fight a no-win situation when you already know that you're not being heard, all right? So you may have to deal with some quarrels on Wednesday. It could be other people. Just seems like an energy. This energy might be good for you. You may have a clear head. You may be able to see things through. People coming to you with their problems. You're trying to fix things. Maybe somebody's competing with you. Maybe you feel like people are talking over you. Maybe you can't figure out solutions right away, or you're just trying to solve something, mixed messages. A lot of confusion can happen. And, so be aware that Wednesday seems to be a day where some of these things can come up, but it is an energy that will pass. All right. It's the middle of the week, right? So, and it's about being honest with yourself and about what you actually want from connections too. So this is going to be a changing day. This is a day where if somebody is confusing you, if somebody is wearing you out or not listening to you, this is where you may make the choice to finally speak and say what you really think, right? And not holding back. Because remember, you have the power of the Judgment, the Hermit, and the Emperor behind you here, which is telling you you've got to stand in courage and speak your truth, right? So it's all working at full power for you. And, I'm going to tell you right now with this energy, because it's going to really change for you as we're going through the weekend, that how you choose to deal with this energy, whatever you choose, because you may have to put out some battles with your mouth too. You may be the one that everybody's coming to and you're solving the problems, right? And you're realizing where, there's no solution. All right, I'm done, right? You may cut things out with this energy, or you may, maybe you will solve some problems for people, right? But I do feel like somebody around you could really be attracted to that kind of energy. So the way you think, the way you act, the way you perform, the way you solve problems, the way you communicate, the way you stand up for yourself this week, and the choices that you make are really drawing love closer to you, because somebody loves that authority about you. All right. And it could be an Aries, could be a Scorpio, could be a Virgo. Now, Thursday, things really change for you. Look at the weather, the Four of Wands. You could be going somewhere, spending some time with people you love, getting together, an event, right? Something big happening here that brings you joy, brings you happiness. It really feels like the weather's working well for you right here, and you're knowing where you fit. All right. So whatever you've gone through on Wednesday, this is where on Thursday, somebody may come around and be like, yo, you handled that great, right? You really are. You really stood out. And this authority that you have this week is bringing you some sort of reward. Somebody could be coming home. A friend could be coming back into your life. This could be with somebody here that maybe was avoiding you for a while, maybe because you were connected to something or a situation that somebody didn't approve of, all right? Or there was a disappointment. And if you did have some sort of disagreement or disappointment with somebody on this day, it looks like whoever's meant to be in your life is going to be standing there tall with you the next day. All right? You could be planning an event too to get together for the weekend as well. This is a good day too. On Thursday, you may hear some good news through text, through email, through letters, through communication with family, people you love, people that you support, or people that you feel are very grounded and successful, right? That could be adding to your value when it comes to your home, right? This could be getting something or buying something or inviting people to your home. Friday, I see the Two of Swords. You could be making an important decision, something that's been weighing on you for quite some time. You may finally have the answers to. This is where the energy is. Like you always knew and you know, and you're making maybe a decision to go. You have to choose one path and you're choosing it. You're finally feeling pretty confident about it. Now, sometimes this is a good thing. This is a decision between two good things, right? I got to choose the best. Choose where you're feeling your heart's pulling you to, right? And it just feels like you already know. I don't think you can go wrong with your choices this week, and especially by Friday. Saturday, you have the Magician. Look at you in your power. This is going to be one of your best days, Friday and Saturday. It feels like you're preparing for everything right now, and then you're preparing for the show that's about to begin next weekend. This brings in you're very attractive. People are attracted to the way you talk, the way you think, what you say. This card here, you may have an instant thought. You may manifest something. You may feel like everything is just working out for you by Saturday. So I'm going to say this week, expect messages, a meeting of some sort, getting together with somebody, a realization, a truth that begins the clarity of something new in your life, a new path, especially with this energy right here. All right, so it's going to be a very good week. Let's see, Friday and Saturday, your most powerful days. I think of the month, and this is going to go on. Some of this energy is going to go on for quite some time. So your advice is tap into it. What's your imagination calling you to do? You have so many choices here, and in the Seven of Cups, there's always a choice that you feel is unattainable. I'm seeing with the Magician card and this energy for you, go after your dreams, go after the one that you think is most unattainable. Reach for higher this week. All right. Sometimes this is like, this card can say the options you have are just not fulfilling you. But this today is saying to me, you have been dreaming and imagining certain things that are attainable, and Spirit is asking you to aim high and go after your dreams. Bottom line, Gemini, I love you. Cancer, your love and life forecast, April 19th through the 26th. All right, it's going to be a powerful week for you. You've been challenged recently. Maybe you're in public, your work, reputation, whatever, those kind of areas. Right, this week you could be, the beginning of the week could be confronting that, feeling challenged, somebody challenging you in love. But by the end of the week, it's really going to clear up because there's a huge shift in energy that's happening. So I've got nothing is impossible. So open to the unexpected and you'll find a way. That is your motto this week. There's fire energy here, which is, so fire can bring up intensity. And again, this is where someone may challenge your boundaries, right? And they could do it in front of other people. They could do it in a way that, it makes you feel uncomfortable, right? Because the way the transits are right now, it is hitting you that way, right? But you may expect the worst from this, but you may expect, like something's going to happen, something's going to come of this. But this is where by the end of the week, the impossible, like Uranus just totally takes things and swings it in a new direction that could actually be really setting you free from something. And things are going to bring you in, it's going to bring in a lot of joy for you. So let's look at Sunday, today to next Saturday, and see how this plays out. Now focus on each card for the day, because these are going to be the energies for the day. But I'm just expecting a lot of clarity this week and a lot of conversations that need to be had, realizations and truth that need to be spoken. It's one of those kind of weeks. All right. So I do have the Five of Swords here. This is where I'm seeing conflict, all right? This is where a couple people, maybe having a dispute, disappointment. It feels like a no-win situation. It feels very challenging. There could be a text conversation. Somebody could say something. Sometimes this is other people saying something. Sometimes this is in our head. We think other people are misunderstanding us. They're not hearing us. And so there's something changing in this. This is where you are going to see something come to light. All right. And sometimes we just have to put down our swords and walk away from a situation and just realize that, you know, I've said all I can. I pleaded my case. I've confronted this. I saw it coming. I knew it. Or there's no way of explaining myself. They're not hearing me. Or I just, you know, sometimes it even is, I've been lying to myself about a situation, and now I need to confront some sort of truth. So let's see Sunday. We see the Queen of Swords really in your head, all right? You may be feeling a little bit detached today, giving you time to think. This card is about discernment and integrity for you. And you are being asked to really kind of choose your thoughts wisely. Choose what is logically true, not emotionally true, not protecting your comfort. You know, it's like, how am I really seeing this? What's really happening? Let's get the facts, right? And kind of weighing out facts rather than weighing out fantasy right now, or weighing out how you feel about something. Now, somebody may say something to you and you're going to have to take a look at it, or this is things that you're thinking about in your own inner world, thinking about the past. Now, this could be a friend that's coming into your life. This could be a love situation. Somebody says something to you. It could be somebody that's bringing information to you that may be like, wow, I didn't see that, or I didn't see that perspective, right? So to me, it feels like something that needs to be said, needs to be heard, and I need to stand in my truth. I need to see what my truth is first, and have emotional boundaries too at this point. Now, Monday, I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune show up for you. So this is where there could be a huge turning point. You may have that direct conversation. This could be in love or work, all right? You may be wondering, you know, where you've made choices, right? Because this is actions and consequences. If you have stood in your integrity, especially around work or in love situation, and you have did all you can, said all you can, spoke your truth, right? Then the Wheel of Fortune is here. Luck is on your side. And it's like, you know, expect things to turn around for you. There is a very fated turning point here where we are having some realization. Now, on Monday, there could be a lot of unexpected encounters with people, unexpected situations, unexpected revelations, people coming into your life, places, travel, going, you know, something coming back around, a situation, a person coming back around. And the Queen of Swords is giving us this energy to be able to confront this from a place of discernment. On Tuesday, your energy will change. This is where it really starts to build, all right? We're seeing an energy of love, joy, hanging out with people, feeling like we've succeeded, feeling, you know, getting together. You could be invited to an event. There could be something around home, getting things together, getting together with the people who support you. There could be a reunion, you know, and this is where, you know, when we stay true to our integrity and we look at the facts, all right, instead of letting our emotions get the best of us, and we confront the situation by maintaining, you know, being diplomatic and being kind to ourselves and being kind to others. We're seeing everything turn for you, and we're seeing that happiness and joy is starting to play out here. There's a moment here when you're together with somebody, or you're getting together with somebody, and you're having an honest time. You're having an honest get together, a return to a place where we once were before. It feels comfortable. It feels good. It feels like happiness about your choices. Now, remember, these are the energies. So if you choose to, the Queen of Swords can be cold, can be indecisive, can be emotionally reactive, and can decide to look at things like, you know, somebody may deserve this, or I deserve this because of I did this or I did that. And that's a kind of energy that can happen if the Wheel of Fortune is, you know, going to stay on this karmic cycle or this pattern. And it can turn in a direction that doesn't bring you happiness if we're looking at it from a place of, you know, justification, or needing something, you know, to be justified, or somebody to turn things around, or expecting something from a place of, judgment or criticism or a negative place. So just be careful of that. That's my Scorpio side that always has to bring out, because people, in dynamics, we're all dealing with different kind of dynamics, and some things can be hard, especially if we feel like we've been on this wheel for a while and dealing with a situation for some time. But if you've been avoiding it and you've seen a cycle happen and happen and happen, and you've been avoiding your truth, this is where you're being asked to confront that. All right. So now Wednesday is a good day for you when it comes to love, right? We're seeing no new romance maybe come in. Again, this is where you're feeling very emotionally supported in love. You may receive some message that makes you feel really good. And it could start here on, remember, Monday, the Wheel of Fortune. If you're being called to go somewhere or do something, definitely trust these unexpected occurrences. See where they take you. Even if it seems like it's disrupting your pattern, there's a reason for it. So maybe God's trying to send you in a new direction, which could lead to this happiness, this getting together with somebody, or something that comes up that you didn't even know was there. And it's bringing you to this position here where there's romance, there's love, maybe an offer. You do have a watery energy, a very romantic energy. You could be making plans with somebody as we're going into the weekend. But also this can be a resolution with somebody too as well, things turning around in a way you didn't think was possible. Thursday, we're seeing 5 of Wands, right? So there's some competitive energy. Pay attention to Thursday. All right. This is where people may test you again. All right. But it doesn't mean it's going to ruin your day. It just means the 5 of Wands. All right. People could be challenging, demanding of your energy, demanding at work, demanding of your presence. Right. You could be putting out some fires. Right. You could be the one that's here to save the day, fix things. Right. Or you could have a lot of internal conflict. Right. And it could be over this love situation. And maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. Maybe we're wondering, or we're trying to force something, or we're questioning things. So just be aware of the fiery energy. It's a good day to get things done. There may be some competition around you. You may hear something about somebody else. Somebody may be competing for your attention. Somebody may be competing with somebody else. You might be fighting for the same attention with somebody else in your life. But again, this energy doesn't have to be fearful. This is when it's time to take action and get stuff done. All right. So implement, what's going on, what's coming up for you, and pick your battles wisely on Thursday. Friday, we're seeing things really, really get happy for you. Friday and Saturday are going to be really good days. There could be a social event, a connection, somebody falling in love, a friend inviting you somewhere, but expect joy and love. And through community, through getting together with friends, through clarity and truth, maybe through a friend, maybe through a child, maybe you're celebrating a Taurus's birthday, sorry. You have a Taurus friend, but we're seeing a beautiful day, good weather, time to go out and have some fun, new romance. There could be some connection here with this person or this energy that you encounter, or a message you encounter here on Wednesday. But Friday is looking damn good for you. That this is where your luck shines. And Saturday, I see the 10 of Swords. You are leaving one of the most difficult chapters behind. Saturday is where you may finally, everything's being illuminated, everything's closing up. Maybe you've been dealing with something for a year, maybe you've been dealing with something for several years, but you're finally walking away. The sun rules the 10 of Swords. You're finally walking away from a difficult situation, a direct conversation where you're finally finding closure with something and you're able to move on from it. It looks like lesson learned. You're seeing the Wheel of Fortune, Cancer. So it could be difficult, but it has to be done, because something is coming into your life that's bringing you so much joy that whatever's leaving your life, it's time and you know it. So your advice for the week, the 2 of Pentacles, stay flexible this week, because the energies look like they could bounce around a little bit. And there is a little bit of uncertainty here. So you're being asked to be flexible. So if something seems like it should be going one way, remember, look at the facts. Don't get too emotionally attached to what's going on around you. Try to step back, detach a little bit, and just know that there's fluctuation happening in your life this week because you have entered a new path, a new cycle. And sometimes it's uncomfortable when we're going through this kind of change. But with the wheel and the sun showing up for you, that is like, when I get that combination, that is pure luck that the universe is trying to redirect you. I love you guys. You have a Leo energy here, a Libra, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio energy for you showing up. Leo, your love and life forecast for April 19th to the 26th. This is a very powerful shift for you. You're being tested in a lot of ways, your purpose, your life, your relationships. There's something shifting, something changing, and there could be something or someone brand new coming into your life right now that's about to change everything. All right. Let's see the energy for the week. Energy is rising. Vitality, confidence, power, and decisiveness. So making decisions this week. I was picking this up last week for you. Like you are definitely, closing something. It was getting heavy for you. And some of you, this is like the sun energy, vitality, life coming back to you, a new purpose, a new soul purpose. So you may, and with all the transits that are happening this week, there's some shifts that are going to be bringing up truths. They're going to be bringing up questions. You may be questioning your current path, what you've been working on, what you believed, the story you were in. And this is where I feel like Leos are coming back to Leo, and you're trying to regain who you are, who you've become, and so rewriting your whole new story. So let's take a look at today, Sunday to next Saturday. I have the High Priestess. This makes sense right now. This is you kind of going within, maybe kind of quiet. Maybe you're feeling spiritually disconnected at times with some of the people or your purpose right now. You are being asked to kind of, trust yourself a little bit more. Go within. What are these things that are coming up for you? Trust your intuition around certain people in your life, around what thoughts have been coming up for you. And, this move, this push that you're feeling, this pull you're feeling that may be in a new direction, but you're feeling kind of fearful. Sometimes the High Priestess can be deceptive. You think you're running from something, or you think you're telling yourself one thing, and universe is trying to push you in a new direction, but your intuition is like, no, this is not right, because there's some fear-based thinking in there. All right, so Monday we see the Four of Cups. Like, it's really going to land for you on Monday. I think Sunday and Monday, if you're not happy with the situation in your life, if you're feeling let down or depleted or not receiving enough love from the people that you're given to, if you're just feeling depressed when it comes to your current situation, especially around work and friends, you're just feeling unfulfilled and feeling stuck, like, this is where you're going to notice the biggest shift, Leo. All right, so your relationships being tested, you're being confronted with the true reality. You've maybe been tucking things, hiding things, holding back, just trying to make things work for you, trying to make a relationship work. But the reality is you're not feeling emotionally supported. And this week, that's gonna, that's gonna shift. That's what I'm feeling. I do see a love offer here. And like I said in the beginning, even with this sun energy, there could be somebody unexpected coming into your life that is just like, I don't want to say the answers to everything, but really could be sparking some new joy, some new hope into your life. And it could be a friend, a social connection, work connection, a new idea, somebody, returning the favor, or returning a favor they finally owe you. That's also coming through. But you're being asked to really look at your view about relationships. And somebody may say something to you this week too, especially with the High Priestess, because there could be somebody lurking in the background, wanting to tell you something. And this is this information coming in. Somebody could tell you something that makes you see everything completely different. You just didn't look at a situation this way, so I'm definitely seeing challenges for you, but in a good way, right? So it's going to pick up. The energy for all of us is going to pick up. Tuesday, we're seeing, there you go, the Three of Pentacles. All right, so things coming together on Tuesday. This would be a good day for you to connect with people that really support you. You may collaborate with somebody. Somebody may offer a position to you if this is work related. You may join a team effort. You may meet somebody new, a new friendship that could develop into something else. So again, I am seeing some things come together for you that are really helping you. Support is here. And this can even be clarity. Maybe some of you on some level thinking about going and getting some sort of support, asking somebody, phoning a friend, asking, going to counseling, doing something to reconsider your plans for the future. Something isn't working for you, Leo, and that's what it's showing here. It doesn't mean the rest of your life couldn't be on fire, everything's going good, maybe you're looking good, you got your hair done, you know, all these good things going on. But there's definitely something showing up for you that's going on inside that's not fulfilling you and making you happy. You're seeing signs of it come together. Somebody who wants to help you out, somebody who wants to work with you. And also overall, just a really good day of the pieces coming together, the pieces of the puzzle coming together. So reassessing and, basically some information coming out that you already know about is making it easier for you to put some things to work and to make things move. All right. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm seeing Wednesday's conflict for everybody. I don't know what's going on, but every zodiac sign on Wednesday. Remember, I'm doing a forecast for a reason. So you can come back, you can look at it again, see what plays out. Maybe my message is just kind of giving it vague, but you can see the card is Five of Swords. And, people may be misunderstanding you. There could be some confusion in your head. You may feel like the people you talk to just are not getting your point. You're over explaining yourself. You could be having confrontations with people. Be careful of people getting triggered. And it just feels like a lot of distraction, a lot of mental distraction too. If you've been avoiding something, it's going to be hard for you not to say it. Be careful of blaming games and confusion and people saying one thing, doing another, or coming to you with all kinds of issues and not coming to you with solutions. So this can be a very aggravating day. It could be people, friends, relationships. It just feels like we can't get on the same page. Sometimes it's just an energy. So Wednesday might be a day where you just kind of put up the white flag and say, maybe we'll figure this out tomorrow. If you feel like you have to over-explain yourself, this is a time where, go back to that high priestess, maybe it is a time to just be quiet, let somebody think about something you said. You may hear that somebody was deceiving you. You may get some sort of truth, clarity. Maybe you've been hiding something and you want to tell somebody your truth. These kind of disruptions can come up, all right? But it's a day of change. So something needs to come up. Something needs to happen, all right, on Wednesday. So you will be examining something, and it might be uncomfortable, but in the bigger picture, this is making ultimate change. That's bringing this new, you're making some sort of decision. And it's actually, if something's been draining you, Leo, it's leaving your life. So you're going to have new energy. All right, so Thursday, we're seeing the Magician. All right, things clear up on Thursday. It's like you have the power to make things work. So you could have a really good energy if you're thinking about getting things done or communicating or talking to people. I would hold out to Thursday. If something comes up on Wednesday, I would say let's not argue about it on Wednesday. Let's wait till Thursday. It looks like things can work itself out. This could be stresses. You could be doubting yourself or anything like that in your head. Maybe don't make any important decisions right then. Like I said, silence kind of the next day, Thursday, it seems like you have the power to influence the people around you with your decision. Your mind's clear, things looking good. All right, Friday, we're seeing the devil energy. All right, so the devil energy talks about be careful of your temptations on Friday. All right, so it is a good energy we're moving into, although you have the devil energy. So sometimes we can overindulge. Lust could take over. Addictions could take over. Somebody in your life that you know is no bueno could take over. You could want to talk to somebody, reach out to somebody. You could be tempted. to do something, right? But this is a good day to break that habit, break that pattern. If you find yourself going down that rabbit hole, again, pay attention to who's around you and who's influencing you, because there could be somebody around you that is a wolf disguised, you know. It's like, oh, this feels so good, but yet it's really not good for you, right? So just be careful of that on Friday. On Saturday, I'm seeing the Seven of Swords. So there could be some truth, some secret. We are seeing Friday and Saturday, some secret coming up about something, someone. Again, this is all good because this week is all about clarity with Uranus and Gemini, Venus and Gemini. It's the way we connect with others, the way we communicate. Seven of Swords, somebody who's been hiding something from you, they could end up telling you the truth about something. You may slip and speak your truth. You may feel like you may feel guilty about something that you did on Friday, so be careful. You may have trusted somebody and realized you couldn't have trusted somebody. So I know it sounds negative, but it's not. It's more like I see it coming. So you're getting a forewarning that there could be somebody in your life around you that is influencing you, and they're not being 100% transparent. All right. So pay attention this week for a lot of truths and your temptations. Don't get pulled into an alleyway that you've been down before and it seems like fun, but you know the outcome is not going to be what you really want it to be. All right. So let's see your advice. The Knight of Wands this week is really working in your favor. A new sense of confidence. There could be something fast, new passion coming your way. I really do feel it for you. You could be surprised with somebody who just talks to you out of nowhere, making plans, going somewhere. But this is your energy as well, too. Like you've got to, if this kind of energy is coming up and you're getting this clarity this week from people, this is you saying, all right, I needed this so I can move forward and I'm in this new energy, coming back to who you are. And you're sort of getting prepared here for your season coming up too, right? Where you have gone through a lot and now this new chapter, it feels like, you know, you're needing more fun and passion in your life, and you're taking a bold step this week, and somebody entering your life too could be pushing that, influencing you to where, you know, you are getting out of this rut that you're starting the week off in. So I love you guys. Virgo, your love and life forecast, April 19th to the 26th. All right, so you've been getting hit with some heavy energies, but you know, that's going to be changing eventually. Right, but this week's going to be kind of intense. It seems like you're going to be confronting some major unavoidable issue when it comes to your love relationships, you know, debt, finances, shifts in your shared resources, energies that you give and take from other people. I mean, so if you're not getting your needs met or things aren't equal or there's been some deep truths that you've been hiding around a relationship, this is unavoidable. I see unbroken connection. So there's unfinished business. And this is what I'm feeling that's going to be happening this week for you. Hidden treasures, though. So remember that this week. You're on the right track and gift will be revealed. So although I know that there's been some intense energies and very transformative energies for your sign this year so far, all right, you're climbing the mountain, and it's those of you that are making it, those of you that are here doing the work and getting it through, there's a gift that's coming in. All right. And this week, though, you know, there's hidden truths coming up that actually will change and transform your relationship. It may feel uncomfortable. So it could be heavy. It could be difficult at first, but it doesn't have to be if you know what you're getting into and how to work with it. So let's see Sunday today through Saturday. Let's see how it happens. This is all around intimate connections for you, your love situations, relationships that, you know, really been pushing you. I have the Three of Wands here, overall energy. So the story we're seeing here for you is that this is where you're at, the way I'm looking at this, even in the whole story I just talked about. You've already walked through so many layers, but it's like we're still in this like waiting and we're processing everything that's happening. And it's like, all right, well, where's that frigging gift? All right. And, this is telling you, it's coming together. You're at the threes. You're already walking up that bridge. You're walking up that mountain. All right. Things are coming. Progress is happening. So something is coming in for you, though, that you're needing to confront. Like I said, so this whole week is about movement. It's about progress. It's about communication. And it's about how do we get past this and open up to what's coming in, a new path. Because you see the Six of Swords here, this boat. Right? It always reminds me of the Six of Swords. It's like we're trying to move in a new territory. We already know we don't want the other way. We already know we're trying to do something different. So we need to stay focused and keep moving forward, because the movement is happening, but you don't have the answers yet. So this is like, don't try to define the outcome by the messages this week. Just try to get through the energies this week and know that the outcome is going to be something that you can't even form yet, because you haven't been down this path before. So Sunday, we're seeing the Seven of Wands. You might be pushing a lot of people away. Maybe you're feeling like a lot of tenseness, right? Seven of Wands is creating boundaries. So maybe you're feeling pushed at or feeling overwhelmed. You may need to defend yourself on Sunday. You may need to tell people you need your space, all right? This could be where you're confronting a situation as well, too. All right, so stand your ground, right? Defend yourself. Stand your position. If somebody comes to you this weekend, today especially, or already has, right, we can choose how we confront, but we don't lose ourselves in the situation. So somebody may confront you with something. They may say something to you. It may irritate you. It may frustrate you. Or if you've been holding on to something that's frustrating you, it's going to come out, Virgo. But it depends on how you confront it. Can we do this? It's a challenge. It's going to be challenging, but can we get through this without causing more pressure or fire? We can both stand our grounds and confront this and move forward. So let's see, Monday. Three of Pentacles showing up for you. It looks as though you and somebody else, and you and many people, are actually trying to figure out your next step. It's all working itself out. You have the threes showing up for you. All right. So now you know what's not working. Now you know what needs to be fixed. You've heard it. You've confronted it. You and another person, you really kind of maybe even went at it. It's the same problem, different day, or a new problem that you haven't confronted yet, whatever it is. We're seeing that we're starting to figure out, we're integrating it. We're realizing, all right, we know what to do. All right, so it looks like somebody here wanting to be a team player. This is where you may be surprised that if you just speak your truth and you stay grounded, you and another person really truly care about each other and want to work together. Right, so Monday looks like it could really start to form. Something is forming here, and we have a plan. All right, so it's difficult, a conversation, but it's necessary. You need to know what's really happening between you and another person, and you're not going to be able to avoid this. All right. And if it doesn't work for some of you, that's going to be, that's the other side of things. I can't fix that for you. If somebody's meant to be on your path and somebody really wants to make it work, this is where the hidden treasure and the gift is revealed. If you're fighting something and you're being asked to create boundaries and push something or someone away because it's not working for you, this is where these energies might not always work for you, especially if we're working against what's showing up for us. But in your reading today, Tuesday looks like a really good day where we're seeing the whole situation kind of shift. The intense energy has passed. So be aware of Sunday and Monday, right? Tuesday, you're seeing love. You're seeing this, bigger picture, maybe this new beginning type of energy, right? You're seeing that somebody does really love you. Somebody really cares about you. And we could get through this problem if we just figure out a practical way to get through it. You may receive love messages. For some of you, if you're completely single, right? I will throw this out for you too. You've been confronted. You've been dealing with issues from the past. There is an energy here of somebody here that really around you that really wants to talk to you, really wants to connect with you. So with the Gemini coming in, the transits we have changing, expect always the unexpected communication. You're ruled by Mercury, right? So even throughout this entire week and over the next 7 years, there's going to be a lot shaken up in your public eye. People seeing you outside, people wanting to talk to you, people feeling attracted to you at work, right? People being attracted to you in public places where they might come up to you. You might receive messages, connect with people, be open to somebody trying to express themselves to you. All right, and this is beginning this week, but this is going to be moving on for quite some time. All right, it's emotional connection starting, a friend, a person, a new love interest coming into your life on Tuesday, right? For those of you that are open to that. Now, this can also be, the resolution, your level up in a relationship after having some difficult confrontation. Wednesday for you. Wednesday seems to be a spark of curiosity. It also looks like a conversation. All right. So we're seeing the most difficult, a breakthrough has happened for you. And now we're starting to see that, somebody's really interested, and we're seeing new ideas, new places, new things to do. There could even be an offer, somebody here wanting to really get something started with you. So many opportunities here for you to connect with somebody and start a new direction with somebody. The hardest part is over, right? The heaviness is over. It feels like we have a plan. And also for some of you, there could even be something new when it comes to work, somebody making some sort of offer to you. And this can be also a good reconciliation day. If you're talking to somebody and, or you've been waiting for somebody to come in and you had some sort of disagreement and you're hoping for things to work out. But it looks like even on this day here, both these days are really good days for you to strengthen your bond with somebody. Thursday, I'm seeing the 5 of Swords. So there could be conflict on Thursday. Be aware of that. It could be in your own head. Maybe you're feeling, something's coming up for you. You're feeling like people are misunderstanding you. There could be some disagreements. It could be the people around you, Virgo, constantly distracting you, other distractions. Maybe you have something good that just happened, and now all of a sudden you want to second guess everything. All right, so be aware. Wednesdays seem to be the day for a lot of signs dealing with conflict, emotional, mental conflict. All right. But for you, it could be, more about your community, your friendships, right? People around you, just not knowing what to believe, what to see, or people just, squabbling and you don't want anything to do with it. You feel like you're putting out fires, right? Or you just feel like people, miscommunicating or not understanding you. It's just an energy. Sometimes it's about, I can't solve your problems today. I can't solve my problems today. Maybe I need to take a mental break on Thursday, right? And if you're second guessing things because something good has just happened to you this week, be aware of that. Don't second guess yourself. Let this good stuff come in for you, because it looks like you're working. This whole week is actually working towards a gift being revealed. And this is where it's all happening. So you may get caught up in other distractions and forget about this gift that's being revealed to you. So let's see, Friday, we're seeing the 5 of Pentacles. I'm seeing you struggling here with, expecting the worst to happen. This is your forecast, Virgo. Do not expect the worst to happen when you go into the weekend. I feel like you're trained, or you train yourself to think the worst case scenario because you've been dealing with this for so long. You've been dealing with something and you're not quite sure if somebody's going to follow through, right? Or if work's going to follow through. You may feel financial struggle, or you may be worrying about a problem that is maybe not as big as you think it is. I'm not getting that energy for you this week. You're seeing you're on the right track. All right. So you may second guess it. Just remember that these could be emotional energies, a mindset that is trying to trick you, right? Because you're coming out of the storm now. You've already kind of gone through, this Aries energy we just went through. You just went through some major wound coming up for you. You're healing. So sometimes it's uncomfortable to trust what good is coming towards you this week. So your best days seem to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it looks like Thursday and Friday when things are supposed to be going really good. You could be feeling under the weather or feeling like you're second guessing things, right? Now let's see Saturday, the devil card. There could be a devil returning, right? There could be something coming up for you, temptations. Sometimes this is you wanting to numb the world out. Sometimes this is you dealing with people that are stressing you out and you just know that I just don't want to do this pattern again. Leo just had this too. So some of you could be Leo, Virgo cusps, right? You may be pulled into something on Saturday that feels delicious, and yet you know it's not good. So that's what I'm seeing for you. Don't misunderstand this energy right here as it being a negative weekend. It is not, collectively, right? But for you, you could be expecting the worst, right? But what I'm seeing here is you're tempted to do something on Saturday that may feel so good in the moment. You could even get pulled into an old trigger with somebody from your past. But you're being asked to overcome that. This is a good day to break these habits. You may be confronting some major addiction, some major pattern, breaking this pattern with somebody, because this is the Lover's card, and this is all about intimacy here. So you may be dealing with something that also comes up that's testing your newfound trust with somebody. So you are going to understand things a lot more clear throughout this week, and you're going to be still, and I know that you're still working through some heavy stuff, but you're working through something major, and you're starting to see some things manifest into your life that could change your life. All right, so let's see your advice for this week. Temperance. All right, it's all about control this week, moderation. Again, you're seeing the devil card. You may feel pressure, you may feel lust, you may feel desire, it may feel overwhelming, but you're trying to break that pattern. And the temperance card is telling you you're on the right track. Things are unfolding. If you find yourself, getting caught up again in these fears, this is reminding you this week that just allow things to unfold and to have control. If you're feeling pulled too much in one direction, that's a sign to find some sort of balance in your life this week, right? The temperance card is asking for some patience with yourself this week too. Things may still feel like they're a little bit wobbly, but you're getting some major clarity this week because you're confronting one of your biggest issues in a relationship that eventually is going to play out here. And there's a lot of healing happening between you and an intimate partner. I love you guys. I'm losing my voice. Libra love and life forecast for April 19th through the 26th. This is going to be one of those weeks, all right? And this is collective for a lot of people. But for you, when it comes to relationships, it looks like there's going to be a face-off, all right? I just feel like, and look, I got the stepping stones, taking the next step, simplicity and focus, all right? You're demanding resolution this week. You're demanding attention. You're demanding a resolution to some conflict. And especially in relationships, if you've been being challenged by people lately, this is where, you're directly having a conversation. You're directly, opposing the people in your life where you are being asked to speak your truth. I feel a huge Queen of Swords energy for you, maybe King of Swords for some of you, but there's confrontation that's unavoidable. And there's going to be truth. And today's Sunday. It's this weekend. It's been since this past week. It's like confronting something head on is bottom line. And this is somebody significant in your life. So people are challenging you. Someone's challenging you. And this energy is unavoidable. Now I have the Chariot, though, at the bottom of the deck. So remember, you're taking the actual next step. So staying focused on what the problem is, what the solution is, not getting derailed, right? This week, you could easily overcome certain situations if you stay focused, right? Don't get caught up down, excuses with other people giving you excuses, other people trying to shift or reframe or change things. This is you driving the car, spirit driving the car. This is something that, you got to stand in your power and be direct this week. There's no indirect conversation, right? I need to stay focused. So remember that your partners or your significant other could try to derail you by making excuses, saying things, trying to play a different story or play something out or try to skirt past something like it's not a problem. That's what you're trying to avoid. I see Cancer energy here. You're getting stepping stones this week. So remember, the overall theme for the week is you're actually taking steps forward and things are getting clearer and better for you in this situation by following these guidelines, in a sense, right? By staying focused and true and direct. Now, Sunday, I see the Sun card. What a perfect day. This could be a day to express yourself, coming from a place of your heart. The best way to do it. You're lit up, you're looking good, everything's kind of working for you. You got a Leo energy showing up too, Cancer, Leo. So it could be somebody that you're confronting that has Leo energy. But this is asking you to have pure confidence when it comes to your expectations, the way you express yourself, right? You've got energy, you've got life, you got love, you got growth coming in here, you've got luck on your side. And you are being asked to shine and fully express your truth. Now, Monday, I'm seeing the Page of Swords. You get more clarity. There could be unexpected messages coming in on Monday. This is a new person maybe coming into your life, right? Or a text that you expected or didn't expect coming into your life. You've been waiting on those messages and they've been delayed. This can be a lot of questions and maybe getting those answers finally, or asking a lot of questions, right? This could be new romance starting up for you too. So if some of you singles or some of you waiting for, somebody to express themselves as well, this is also somebody coming in. This is a good energy for that as well. So if some of you don't have anybody to confront, this could be just confronting your own, expressing yourself directly about what you want with somebody. So if somebody's talking to you and somebody reaches out to you, don't beat around the bush. Be direct, be fun, be playful, be spontaneous, ask questions, tell somebody directly what you want, right? So it's going to be maybe a new start to a relationship or a new start to a conversation. Right, so keep it simple. I am seeing keep it simple though here. So if you're finding yourself talking a lot on Monday or just having restless communication, be aware that if some of you over communicate and you get in your head and you're not getting responses fast enough, this is telling you here too to stay focused and keep it simple, one step at a time, right? That you got the Chariot here. You will get that return call. Right? There's a sign there. You will definitely hear from somebody. Somebody could be returning to directly confront you about something. All right. So Tuesday through Wednesday, there could be things around your finances. Four of Pentacles coming up. You have the Four of Pentacles here. You could feel a little bit more closed off. You might be dealing with somebody who pulls away a little bit. You may feel like you need to control the situation. You're worried about things. Just know it's an energy. It's your mindset. Let go of control a little bit on Tuesday. Things are working here with the Four of Pentacles, but sometimes we're trying to control everything. And remember, keep it simple, stay focused, one step at a time. So this energy here, especially if you're worried about money, this could be a good day where you may need to take a step back and focus. There's a way around your problem. To me, when I pull that card, it says, look at your savings, budget, whatever. Maybe you have to be a little bit more frugal. Maybe you do have to control your finances if that's stressing you out. But you could tend to, kind of spill that over into your relationships. If you're really worried about finances and other things, we tend to get overwhelmed and then start trying to focus. We let those problems create problems in our relationships as well, where we're thinking there's a problem there, but there's not. The real problem is something to do with your finances. Wednesday, the Hierophant, right? So stepping up, something spiritual happening here on Wednesday. For some of you, this could be, maybe some of you deciding to shift your beliefs about a relationship or shift your beliefs about spirituality, right? Some of you could be going to church, right? Maybe you need to go to church. But I'm seeing leveling up, learning a lesson, right? Write a passage. So something around this relationship that's happening here, you in another relationship, you're finally kind of stepping up and leveling up. Something that's been spoken, something that's happening. It looks like there could be a person entering your life that really does or is wanting some sort of serious relationship, or their intention, is to have a more serious relationship with you. And I feel like this is where at the beginning of the week, in the Four of Pentacles, if somebody does pull away a little bit, you could be questioning, should I have said something? Did I say the wrong thing? But it looks like whatever you have said to somebody in this conversation is actually deepening your connection. And this is where, I want you to stay focused as well too, especially if you feel like somebody pulls away from you. Thursday, I see the Five of Swords. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Wednesday and Thursday seem to be a little bit of a difficulty for some signs. And it's usually a mental distraction. You may get some mixed messages or feel confused or feel like other people are just making a lot of noise or there's a lot of distraction. You could be second guessing some of your decisions. But remember, the Hierophant is, you got to stay true to your values and know that you made the right choice. You are confronting something big on some level here. And so it could be a little bit uncomfortable for you. This card is reminding you that this is exactly what you need to be doing and you made the right choices. So don't, if you're finding yourself second guessing or wanting to over explain yourself or wanting to confront a difficult situation, maybe you feel like you're people pleasing that day, or you're trying to make excuses for somebody or something. This to me is like, clear your mind, clear your head. You made the right choices, and remind yourself that on Thursday. You could be picking up on a lot of other people having difficult energy around you. You could be putting out some fires. People could be feeling difficult. They may misunderstand you. You may have a hard time speaking your truth. Or you may feel like no matter what you say to somebody, they're just not getting it, or it just feels like a no-win situation. You said your piece clearly. You didn't mess up. Just know that, somebody else is having a difficult time with whatever truth you are saying. It's them, not you. And it might not be the day to try and work it out with somebody if they're not hearing you. Friday, we have the Hermit, maybe spending some time alone. It might be a good day to go do something on your own. Somebody may pull away too. Again, it could make you feel anxious. You have very wise energy. You've risen above something. So if these fears are coming up for you again around a situation, around something that you've had to confront, because, you're looking like you're really feeling good about your decisions here. And don't be letting other people, get in your head. If you need to pull away and do some things on your own, it looks like Friday, it could be a solo day. Somebody may need time alone. Maybe some space is bringing clarity to you and another person. But it does show me here that you're walking on a new path. All right, so for Saturday, I'm seeing the Ace of Pentacles. This is where a new offer, there could be an opportunity, somebody presenting you with some sort of offer or an opportunity to start something new. Could be a way to make money. It could be the relationship. And it could be now you're finally feeling a little bit more solid about whatever's happened here. You have the Sun and the Ace of Pentacles, which is talking about luck around you. It's talking about good things coming in, abundance, fresh energy, feeling committed. So by Saturday, I feel like whatever this turmoil that you might be going through underneath everything, whatever you're confronting, you're going to feel more solid and refreshed by Saturday. And this could be making plans, a new start. Some of you could even purchase something or have extra money to buy something. And somebody could actually be offering you a date or offering you a solid commitment, especially with that Hierophant here. You have Taurus, you have Leo energy showing up. What's your advice? The Nine of Pentacles, remember who you are, all right, this week, staying grounded and expecting success, all right? You are being asked to step up into more confidence this week and knowing your worth, bottom line, knowing your value. And it looks as though you're expressing that, and especially it looks like your best days for expressing are Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. Feels like you're really getting some sort of truth and clarity. And even Friday, it looks like you're doing a lot of self-reflection. Saturday is where it all begins. It feels like the roots are the seeds planted, the root. We're moving forward in a new energy. I love you guys. The forecast for April 19th through the 26th. All right. So it's going to be one of those weeks where things are changing. And for you, work, health, and a relationship, right? So there's something happening in all those areas this week. So let's see what the cards say for you and what stands out the most. Sunday through Saturday. Pave your own way. Start in a new path. You're being asked to step up and take charge of the areas in your life that you need to change. Bottom line, right? So if you know you need to do something about your health, about your relationship, you need to say something about your relationship, you need to break some sort of pattern, you need to do something different, you need to have a conversation. This is where, if you're waiting for somebody else to get the party started, you're going to be waiting forever. You've got to step up and go. All right. Sunday, 4 of Wands just flew out here. All right, so it looks like Sunday could be a really good day of hanging out with family, doing something good, talking about things that are coming up around relationship. You may be hanging out and realizing that you're stuck in patterns, right? The 4 of Wands can be family patterns, relationship patterns that are, sometimes they're comfortable, but if it's really bothering you deep down and you're like, oh, I wish something more would happen. I wish we would do something differently. Or I just wish that we were on the same page. This is going to be one of these days that if something's not fulfilling you as well, or if you're not feeling 100% happy or satisfied, that you're going to confront this with your person. And you may be surprised with the outcome, because sometimes it does take you having to show the way. All right. We can talk about things till we're blue. We can, keep saying, we should do this, we should do that, or this, or we should go on this date, or we can do, or we should both go to the gym, or whatever it is, or I want a relationship in my life. If you're single, you got to do something about it. Amazon's just not going to deliver everything to your doorway. So on Monday, I'm seeing Ace of Swords, right? Looks like there's a huge breakthrough energy conversation. And that's the theme of the week with the transits that are changing. There's going to be a lot of unexpected twists and turns and conversations. And I know you guys hear this a lot, but it's life. And these are things that happen over and over. And everything is a pattern. Everything is a shift, right? So you may get the truth. You may get clarity on Monday. And if you're needing to have a conversation, if you're needed to get something started, maybe it is get started on Monday. And my mom used to always say, I'm going to start my diet on Monday. I always said I was going to get her a shirt that said that. She never did, right? But you're being asked to start something. You're being asked to initiate. Maybe you will have some sort of new idea or clarity around what needs to happen. So if there's a week where you're questioning whether you should initiate, this week is telling you that this is the week for you to stand in your power and get shit done, which means that if you're waiting for somebody to reach out to you, you may need to reach out. If they don't respond, there's your answer. If they, if you're needing to reach out and they do respond, they're probably going to be happy as shit that you reached out, right? But guess what? You'll get the truth. You'll know where you stand, right? And people are often afraid of that. But you want the truth, right? That's what you want. So you got really good energy. There could be an event coming in. You're getting invited to an event. There could be a major shift happening here where you're actually leveling up when it comes to your home. You may be buying a home. This could even be thoughts of buying a home, something happening, maybe selling your home, maybe new plans around decorating your home or downsizing, all those things can come up right away in your life. It seems like this week is going to be conversations around all these things. All right. And very much your day-to-day life. So if things aren't working for you day to day, or you need to shift your patterns or your routines, this is all being confronted. You know, your routines are shifting. Reality is shifting. Tuesday and Wednesday, I see the Nine of Swords and I see the Queen of Pentacles. So you could be very overwhelmed, maybe with work, maybe with some doubt about work, maybe with some worry or stressing about your health, wealth, or money, your work, somebody in your life. There could be somebody that you're thinking about, somebody that you're confronting, somebody influencing you if you owe money. You know, remember, this is that kind of energy, but I feel like for you, with the theme that's coming up, that this is around your responsibilities. So if something's been pressing on you, Tuesday and Wednesday, you're really being asked to get the shit done, you know, get your taxes done, you know, or get the extension. You know, stop worrying about the fears of what you've done in the past, or did you make the right decision? You know, this isn't about worrying or being overwhelmed or overanalyzing or over critiquing things. This is about getting things done and moving forward and stepping into the Queen of Pentacles energy. Now, you may have a person show up in your life that could influence you. Maybe they shed light on whatever's worrying you, that they could be bringing a lot of wealth into your life, a lot of influence into your life as well. And for those of you, a love connection could be forming with or deepening with an earth energy. Thursday, I see the Knight of Wands. Things actually really shift in Thursday, Friday. I see a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. I see a lot of fire. So you see how once you get the party started, things really start to ignite. Your weekend's going to be passion. Your weekend's going to be changing unexpectedly, Friday and Saturday, you know, with all this this Uranus energy. Your bonds with people, your work, your ambitions, your finances, your intimate relationships look like they're really getting a kick of fire. Somebody really showing up. You're attracting somebody in. This weekend, you could be taking some sort of spontaneous trip somewhere, you know, somebody or an adventure, you know, or just getting out and doing something fun. But I am seeing maybe even new love come into your life. You know, obviously chemistry first, passion first. But you got a lot of people showing up here towards the end of the week. So your week kind of feels like you just got to take charge and move forward. And there could be something about a new vision. There's something coming in where, you know, maybe you're making plans here, you and your partner, you're finally on the same page and things really start to pick up. All right. So passion, fire, maybe a date this weekend, a conversation, some sexual energy showing up. You've got a couple different people showing up. Maybe some of you have options, but I see a lot of fun this weekend. So just make room for that. And let's see your advice. You're breaking, you know, you're breaking some sort of routine here. And if you're worried about the outcome, that's your least worry. You take charge of what you need to take care of this week and look at how badass it looks by the end of the week. All right. If you're expecting a fire sign, I see strong you know, I see them showing up. So your week, the Six of Pentacles, your advice. This is about getting things in order. You know, if you've been dealing with some struggles, difficult times, you're moving from that. Your money's increasing. If there's been things out of balance in your life with relationships, you're having a conversation about that. Where does somebody else need to pick up? Where have you been talking about your problems all day long, but not doing anything to find the solutions? This week, it's all about bringing in the solutions and getting it going. You're making huge change this week when it comes to the things that you have control over. And you, if you're in a relationship, you and your partner are both doing something different that is bringing it together. All right. I love you, Scorpio. Have fun this week. Sagittarius, 7-day love and life forecast, April 19th through the 26th. All right. You've been coming through with a lot of love coming through for you in my readings lately. So this weekend is going to be a powerful weekend. We just had the new moon in Aries, and now it's going to play out all week, right? And it feels like if you are connected to somebody, if it's not real, you're going to know it. If it's not real, you're just not going to want it. You're going to be questioning everything, right? I do see this week returning, something coming back around, renewal happening for you. All right, so this to me feels like something that already got started. Maybe, you know, like I said, on the new moon. And or if it hasn't, this is what's transpiring. So it could be somebody from the past. It could be, right? It could be a situation that resembles something from the past. It could be reigniting a relationship, something was dying out and all of a sudden it's not dying out. You thought somebody was not interested and then they're interested. You thought you were losing interest, but all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, I'm really happy with this. I really want this. So there's a lot of growth happening and healing energy with all this fire energy for you, right? So you're confronting something big. Now, if you're dealing with a situation, I always throw this side out there, because if you're dealing with a situation and it's just not sparking you, and if it's not growing, if it's not activating your passion, your love, your joy, you're going to feel pretty much done or just not activated at all. All right. So you're going to have a huge contrast between, facing a reality where it's not going to be bad for you because you're facing it and you're deciding, this just isn't what I'm looking for. Right. So let's do day by day breakdown. Today's a big day. Five of Swords been coming up a lot, right? And it's because we're questioning a lot of things, right? Been trying to maybe talk ourselves out of things, talk ourselves into things, trying to understand something, make something work. And this is where the battle of, everything I just said is coming in for you. It's like, why is this still, what's frustrating me? What doesn't feel right? Why do I just not feel 100% complete about a situation, or I still feel confused about a situation? That's really going to come to a head. So Sunday, I am seeing Six of Pentacles. You're going to be questioning, where you're putting your energy. Whether or not you're feeling supported. If you've been overgiven, you're going to feel it. If you have been given a lot, though, I will say this is a really good energy where you'll start seeing the effort. Somebody putting in the effort today, things coming into a balance, really discussing, talking about, hey, I just not feel supported, or are we on the same page? Right. So there's a very promising energy here around love. So everything I just said, if this has been your question about things and you're feeling like somebody's not giving to you, it's really going to frustrate you. Now on Monday, the Seven of Swords, this is where there's no denying it anymore. It's like what you have been feeling, what you've been thinking over the weekend, what the answer, it's going to be impossible to ignore. The Seven of Swords is showing up on Monday. So there's some secret, some truth, some revelation of some sort, right? Where we're realizing whether we're lying to ourselves or if somebody's constantly lying to us, right? There's just no denying your choice this week, right? There's no denying what's happening, because you are being pushed into a deeper kind of love. You're yearning for something more. So if it's not happening, your soul is pushing you. God's pushing you out of this scenario. And so Monday, we're seeing a confession, maybe. We're seeing a realization. We're seeing, you might even notice that you just see clearly when people aren't being honest with you. Now, Tuesday, you're all about you. Knight of Wands. I'm seeing lots of passion come your way. Now, this is where if Sunday you realize that, all right, this is going somewhere. I really feel the equality here. I feel the reciprocity here. I really, and I do want to say for some of you, this can also represent a relationship that's reignited. It could have been a friend. It could have been somebody that you've been kind of talking to. And then all of a sudden, you realize, and wait a minute, we've been hiding from this, right? So now we're seeing on Tuesday, it gets really exciting. There's a lot of Marsy energy here, a lot of activation when it comes to chemistry and passion. There could be even a new person entering your life too, because remember, the new moon energy, planting those seeds, is going to play out for the next week or so. And we're seeing you feeling very confident on Tuesday, attracting in a new passion, feeling very sexual energy, feeling very creative, feeling like you're ready to get up and go. So if whoever's you're dealing with is not ready to get up and go, it looks like it's not going to stop you. You're going to be ready for something new, something exciting. And again, the same thing, if you've had this conversation over the weekend, this is where your relationship is going to accelerate. Wednesday, I'm seeing the Three of Pentacles. So things start to stabilize on Wednesday, really starting to make plans, starting to talk about things, starting to notice that people are showing up for you. You may collaborate with somebody on Wednesday. You may make plans for the future to, adapt, make things work, try to figure out the next plan of action. You and a partner here really coming together and trying to figure things out. This could be a good day too for getting help from other people, support from other people if you need it. Somebody handing money, somebody handing skills, somebody coming over to help you with a project, help you with something. But it's a very good day for getting things done. It's a very grounded day. It seems like whatever's happening on Tuesday, and if this energy is filling up, picking up, it just seems like you're in a really good, getting together and feeling supported by the people around you. Now, if you have gotten into something on Tuesday or this past weekend with somebody and you're realizing some truth about a situation, by Wednesday, it seems like everything's fair. We're kind of figuring out where we land. Maybe we are just better off as friends, or maybe we can make things work in another way or another time, right? But either way, you're feeling pretty content with how things are coming together on Wednesday. Now, Thursday, I see the Hierophant. Thursday is commitment day. Thursday is really stepping up and focusing on what you believe in. All right. There's something about relationships and committed partnerships. So I'm going to manifest. I'm going to say this. So this week could be the week where you're actually leveling up and deciding where this relationship is going. The relationship is taking a new stance. You're on the same page. It seems like, we're both wanting the same thing. We both value the same thing. So there is a lot of pressure around commitments on Thursday, right? And we're feeling it though. You should be feeling it if this is your story. You're feeling like, all right, things are leveling up, things are coming together. But you could also be questioning yourself too, looking at what it is you really want, defining, having a conversation with somebody around what your commitment looks like. You're defining with somebody a conversation around what relationship means to you, what you really need and what you want. So this is an important revelation, important conversation deepening here during this week with those of you that are pursuing or feel like you're entering into a next stage of your relationship. Wednesday, if this is new passion coming in, it looks like things are going to kind of move smoothly, so you won't be really questioning much. You could even be having this could happen fast with some of you who just met somebody. You may realize, you know what, that there's something here and we're both building upon it. So it feels like the main theme is reciprocal. So it won't be hard work for you with somebody if the passion is truly there. Now, by Friday, we're seeing the Temperance card. You're feeling pretty good and things are just going kind of chill and feeling like everything's working out for you. If you feel otherwise, this card is reminding you to go with the flow and to be patient. You see the major arcana here. You are seeing that something really major just happened when it comes to love. Even if you're the other half that may be deciding that something's too complicated, I need something more, and you're in this new energy and you're meeting somebody else or trying to meet somebody else, this card is telling you not to second guess yourself, just allow things to unfold. So Friday could be kind of a chill energy for you. See where life takes you. That's your advice. There may be turns or unexpected people coming into your life on Friday or the following weekend where it could lead you down a new path, right? So just kind of go with the flow on Friday and just know that you've made a huge step here. So things have to kind of come together. Now, Saturday, we're seeing a Tower moment. So this is where things could really break out for you. Something major could happen on Saturday. This is in relationships for you. Uranus is shaking up shit, right? And this is going to be opposing you when Uranus goes into Gemini. So it's really going to be a change in partnerships suddenly. All right. And so I would say by the end of the week, right, you may be like mind blown by what changes and what accelerates. Truths could come up. All of a sudden a bombshell could go off. You could hear about somebody, leaving a relationship and you didn't expect it, or you've been waiting on somebody to leave a relationship, or there's an argument or discussion between something. So just be aware that the Tower card is a strong, potent energy for you you on Saturday. I can't tell you exactly what could happen with the Tower moment, especially with Uranus opposing you in Gemini. It's going to shake up what you thought. It's a conversation. It's a connection with someone that moves you towards something more defined and intentional. So if something was starting here, it's about to really surface here on Saturday. So it's a disruption in your life that is going to serve your purpose. And again, these energies that I'm playing out during the week don't have to happen day by day by day by day, consecutively. It can be the entire theme that is shaken up and it all happening. But by Saturday, it looks like a huge revelation, a huge shift when it comes to your love life in a very positive way. Now, the Five of Swords at the bottom is saying, what you're questioning right now, that is going to be resolved, especially with this Tower card coming in. Now, your advice, the Page of Wands, right? Roll with it, have fun, right? This Page of Wands energy is telling you to kind of open up to any kind of shifts or spontaneous moves that happen to you this week, and coming at it from a more youthful, playful energy, because it looks like a lot of you are in this energy with passion, joy. You want fun in your life. You want passion. And this is what you're craving the most of. And this is what the universe with God is bringing to you this week. And so it can be uncomfortable when God is saying, you're right, this is what you want. So I'm taking you away from what you know you don't want, and I'm putting you in the right path. All right. I'm putting somebody in your path. I am seeing a fire energy for you, lots of fire for you. I'm seeing Taurus, I'm seeing Sag, I'm seeing Aries and Scorpio. I love you guys. Take care. 26th, your day-by-day breakdown in love and life. This could be or have been a kind of a heavy weekend for you with a lot going on, maybe around family, maybe a conversation came up and or a disagreement or an argument or truth around what you're getting or receiving in your family or your relationships with people in your family. All right. So it does start off for you maybe right now with that revelation. And then this week, it's going to change. The energy is going to change for you. I am seeing retreat for you as well at the bottom of the deck, but let's get the overall energy, a new perspective. All right. Studying and learning and understanding somebody, or somebody finally understanding you and where you're coming from. Now, I do see Sunday today, right? It's like retreat, time out, self-care, and slow down. Because maybe you just something just hit really hard, or you're dealing. This could be something that's been going on for a while. Remember, this is hitting your home. This week is really hitting your home life. It's hitting your relations with family and people that you let into your home. And so, giving yourself a little space, giving yourself a couple days to get through this energy if it does feel heavy. Now, if that's not your case, it's just saying, relax right now, because there is some good energy coming towards you. I do see a shift in your perspective this week, and maybe understanding where somebody was coming from, or understanding, a way to figure out another passage through the problems that you're having when it comes to everyday family life. All right. Now let's see. And this is love too. Like, how does love fit into my life? How does my family life fit into my love life? Things like that. All right, so Capricorn. Let's start with today's energy. Now I'm seeing the Page of Wands for you at the bottom of the deck. So I already know, because I follow the stars, right, that the energy is going to shift for you this week and become like full of fun and joy. It's like you're seeking fun and joy. You're ready for fun and joy, right? And sometimes that's what we need. We need a little vacation so we can see things differently. Now this can indicate this week too that there is new fun and joy and love coming into your life as well. You may have been questioning what you need when it comes to family home, what you need for somebody to help with, or to be a part of, or to contribute, right? So this week, this is where, maybe there is new dates, there's phone calls, there's some flirty energy coming in. We're flirting with the idea of moving in, right? It could even be something like that. Sunday, Wheel of Fortune. This is where, you're dealing with some patterns that have come up, and it's time to close them or change them or move in this new direction. A lot of unexpected things could have come up for you, or still might come up for you. Remember, I'm going day by day, but it doesn't mean that it has to be consecutive like this. It can all happen at once, or it can happen, like when you take a step back and you can see how it all played together. But the Wheel of Fortune is indicating a very important turning point in your life, a very important shift change in direction in your life. So there can be a lot of disruption with that. They can be facing a lot of consequences for things that we've done in the past, or if somebody else has done, or just realizing what we've been doing that keeps going around in circles. And this huge revelation around, all right, I can see my part in it, and now I don't want this anymore, so I'm ready for a change. So we are seeing that right now, this weekend has indicated an important change for you. Now, Monday, I'm seeing the 6 of Wands. So this is where it starts. It looks like, you're feeling pretty confident on Monday, being seen, being recognized, getting the attention that you deserve, feeling like you've conquered some sort of inner battle, even if this is your inner world, tension that you've been having, something you've been fighting with for a while. You are seeing here that a conversation, situation, a dynamic with somebody in a love connection, and something that is turning, something where two people have fought it out. You fought it out, you talked it out, or you're talking it out, and you both seem to want the same goal. All right. So it still is challenging. You're dealing with some ego. You're dealing with, all right, but we're moving through something. All right. So we're getting somewhere on Monday. On Tuesday, it seems like, look, you got the sixes showing up for you. You're seeing this love come in. The 6 of Cups for you feels like two people, or whether it's friendship, whether it's love relationships, whether it's your partner, it does not matter. It seems like we've talked out something that was really weighing on us from the past, and it feels like you and another person are so ready to move forward, even if this is somebody new that you're connecting with, because we can see the Page of Pentacles. And underneath that, we see the Hierophant, which is something that's leading to a more serious relationship. Somebody here who wants to define a relationship, right? And this could be where two people are on the same page. Now, on Tuesday, you could get a random call from somebody, have a deep emotional conversation with somebody. A lot of you are always thinking just about love, a romantic partner, but this could be somebody, a friend from your past. This could be a relative. This could be anybody that wants to reach out to you. And you may have the urge to reconcile with somebody on this day too. So you may have the urge to call out to somebody. And this is a reminder too, to also, it's a good energy for you to share with other people how much you love them, right? Let them know how much you love them, right? A very awesome energy, even though you may have started off with some uncomfortable stuff that's gone down, right? And we're seeing, also a partnership turn over a new leaf. So where we go and where we headed. Right. Wednesday, I see the Hanged Man. So you have sort of a silent kind of retreat day on Wednesday. Don't panic for some of you that feel like, okay, why is everything so quiet? Everything was so good. Everything felt so good. The Hanged Man often indicates put yourself in timeout if you feel a little restless. You've gone through a lot here. A lot of good stuff is happening. Things are feeling good. And sometimes we can get nervous if we're not seeing any constant change, or if we don't hear from somebody, or we feel like there's just too much stillness or quiet time. But Wednesday is asking you also to kind of take a step back and observe all that's changed, all that's happened for you, and take it in for a second, because this is where a new perspective for you and learning and understanding maybe the pattern that you're meant to see this week, right? Maybe you're meant to really observe and really take into heart what has happened in the past that got you to this point, because something is showing up for you to prove you wrong in a way and say, look, this is what's trying to show up for you. If you look at it differently and you maybe not react to it or push it away, because sometimes we can start to second guess it. It's too good to be true. Why is this happening? And then we can revert back to the old version of ourselves. So on Wednesday, I know this week seems to be kind of tense for some signs. For you, it's just asking you to pause, be still, and let everything kind of settle in, right? Thursday, I'm seeing the Queen of Pentacles. This is you feeling a lot more grounded and maybe understood is what's coming through. This is you putting things to play, working, organizing. There could be somebody coming into your life, a friend, your person coming back in, somebody wanting to talk about, the seriousness of the relationships or responsibilities or getting things done. It could just be a very productive day on your own where you're feeling like you have the energy to get things done that you need to get get done, right? A really good grounded energy. And so both of these days is looking like you're sort of a new version of yourself in these days. Like you're feeling more compelled to really just, get things done that matter to you, right? And feeling the love. You may find yourself taking care of other people, doing things for other people, or just really focusing on work. Friday, I see the Empress card. So something manifesting for you on Friday, something that's been growing in the background. You can maybe expect on Friday, where the energy is obviously building, right? And this is where, something is developing that may have taken time. It may have nothing to do with anything else we've been saying. It could be other things that you've been growing behind the scenes, something about your self-worth, feeling the love, feeling attractive. You may be focusing on your body, health. Again, you're seeing maybe another person show up. This could be a partnership. You may be connecting with some new people, but something that's been manifesting behind the scenes could show up for you on Friday, right? This is a very good card of abundance. It's something that you may have been working towards, but you kind of put it aside. Maybe it had time to grow. This could be a good day to speak to your mother, or something, or your parent doing something around parenting. But it's a very beautiful energy for you. It's Venus energy. It's Libra, Taurus energy. It's feeling good. It's spending some quality time in self-care and taking care of your own personal needs. All right, very attractive energy. Saturday, I'm seeing Two of Cups. I'm seeing a conversation, another conversation, and a partnership is changing for you. It's deepening, and this could be a conversation around what we both want, mutual respect, what we want, sharing our emotions, sharing our goals. You can see that somebody has a new relationship is forming here, a new level of a relationship, depending on where you're at in your relationship. But it's around love. It's unconditional. And it feels like on Saturday, you could be sharing a lot of conversations, or, maybe just one really deep conversation with somebody that is bringing you closer together. And there's also an understanding here. So going back to learning one another, understanding one another, and it takes two. So I feel like this Wheel of Fortune, you and another person potentially, or people in your life, are figuring out what's working and what's not working for you. And it's bringing you guys to closer this weekend, the coming weekend. Your advice, the Two of Swords, don't second guess things. Don't question yourself this week. Don't get in your head going, what if this, what if that, confuse yourself, right? The signs are here and the motion is moving forward. You already know, and you'll feel it intuitively. This can be where you're trying to make something more difficult than it has to be. And the Hanged Man position and the Two of Swords, you can start to waver. You can start to question yourself and, feel yourself get pulled back into an old thought. This is just telling you, if it's too hard to make a decision this week, don't make one just yet, right? Just let it play out. If you're feeling torn, pulled, you don't know what to do, the Hanged Man, remember, back up, right? But also it's saying, if something is feeling good, go with it. Don't question it, right? See where it takes you. I love you guys. Aquarius, your love and life forecast for April 19th through 26th. I do want to start with some good news for you, though. This week theme is, Saturn's moving, Uranus is moving, sorry. And I just feel like if you've had a lot of disruption in your home for the past 7 years, well, the next 7 years are going to be in your love. So we have joy in your love life beginning. All right. So this could be, I know you're like, oh, the next 7 years, but hey, this is going to be your themes. Think about the past 7 years, what's been the most disruptive. That's ending. All right. So you have a good era coming in. You have a good time. So let's look at the week ahead. I'm seeing returning, a spiral journey, growth, renewal, and healed. All right, so returning this week for closures, for coming up, for things happening, conversations, right? There is a lot happening this week, so it's going to seem very similar through all zodiac signs collectively because there's some big shifts happening. But this is something coming back around to show you where you've grown, where you've changed, right? You may notice that a relationship comes around and you just see it differently, right? Or you find that you're handling situations with people differently. That's where the growth comes. A lot of people take returning superficially and just think, oh, my ex is returning. And it could be that, definitely could be that, right? Or it could be the person that you want to talk to, finally returning your call, right? These are all strong things, but it really does talk more about a pattern or situation that is returning for you to gauge how much you've grown since the last time you've dealt with it. All right. And you're in a lot of healing energy, and so this week is wrapping up all this shit that you've been going through. So let's break down today, Sunday to Saturday. Remember, the days can happen consecutively. Look at the cards for each day, remember them or come back. But it can happen. It doesn't have to happen, day by day. It can happen all at once, so just keep that in mind. I just see the Chariot card. Let's go. Let's get the hell out of here. This card is the story this week. It's like somebody is or something is returning, and it's showing you how much you've grown. And if things are testing you this week, the obstacles that you're up against this week, it seems like you'll get through them quick. It won't bother you that much. This seems like a pretty smooth week for you when it comes to you overcoming challenges. Now we're seeing somebody return. Maybe somebody is returning. They've grown, they've healed. It can show up that way too. We have, movement here. We have very solid movement. You could be going somewhere this week, taking a trip somewhere, going somewhere that reminds you of somewhere where it's healing for you. You could be going somewhere that influences you to grow, or you're going somewhere that before you never would have saw yourself going to. Right. And now this week you're like, you know what, I really feel good here. I feel like this is a part of my journey. But this card is saying movement, fast, let's go. We've grown. Sunday, I see the Star card for you. So you are moving from a major Tower energy. You've had to go through a lot of discoveries, a lot of breaking down. You may have had a recent argument, a conversation that brought some sort of truth to you. All right, this could be happening too as well. So we're all kind of confronting or having a conversation circling back around that could be around family, siblings, your community, the people around you, where you're at, where you're living, a move, a job. The Tower card can represent, shit just uncertain and chaotic in our love lives. It just feels like one Tower moment after another. But now you have the Star card starting off your week, which is your energy as well. And this is a newfound faith. It's like I'm starting to see the light, and I'm seeing clearly now the meaning behind everything that's happening. And you're entering a whole new time period. So most of the stuff that you've gone through with is settled and gone, and you won't have to deal with it again. So in your power, something is really pushing you towards faith this week. Tuesday, here's a conversation coming in. Monday, all right, clearing things up, or communication, continues. Remember, this could be something that's ongoing. You could have random calls, texts, information coming your way, good news coming your way. This could be application day. This is definitely communication day, right? Something that you've been calling in, something that you've been manifesting. It's a very strong day for you to get that information. And I also see that it's unavoidable too. You'll hear something, or a conversation will continue to deepen. So if you've started something, just know that it's going to continue throughout this week, and it's bringing up more answers to your questions than just questions, right, that are unanswered. A lot of clarity coming your way. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I see the Knight of Cups. You could be planning for a date, but there also, for some of you, it could be a day where you just randomly, this is going to be your next 7 years. Unexpected encounters with romantic partners. You may meet somebody through a friend or through text, or talk to somebody and not realize that somebody's breaking conversation with you because they want to talk to you about a date, or they want to tell you how they feel. Now, this can be new romance, right? It definitely is indicating for you that somebody desires a connection with you, desires to talk to you. But it's also too that if you're talking to somebody, you're deepening your relationship. By Tuesday, you're feeling the love. You could possibly hear "I love you," "I want to." For some of you, it could even be a proposal if you're at that stage in your relationship. Wednesday, I'm seeing 5 of Cups. So you could start doubting things, or worrying that things aren't going to turn out. Things are too good to be true. Wednesday is difficult for everybody. I don't know if you've listened to the whole live today. On Wednesdays seem to be some sort of heavier energy for everybody. and it's expanding what needs to be seen, right? What are you worried about? Why, is something, are you fearful? Are you thinking you're going to disappoint somebody, or somebody's going to disappoint you? Remember, this is a mindset, and you may be feeling a little bit down, or be questioning whether, you can trust something, or, if you should give your all, or if you're going to be disappointed again. These are internal feelings that might be coming up for you. But I see you may be focusing on the past more again. So just catch yourself on Wednesday. It's an energy that'll shift. It may not, you may feel like your person's pulling away, and that could be what the trigger is. Thursday, I'm seeing Ace of Pentacles. So you're getting that renewal period. You're getting that offer. You're getting this start. You're getting a job. You're getting an unexpected opportunity. And it could be many opportunities on a Thursday. So you see Wednesday's energy kind of glides past. And then you receive that offer that you've been looking for, that movement that you've been looking for. All right, so something is planting this week. Seeds are being planted on Thursday. This is a good day to get things started. Friday, I'm seeing Seven of Wands. You may be feeling some pressure on Friday. This is a good energy to speak your truth. This is a good energy to ward off any negative energies, create some boundaries. If you've made some guidelines, or if you feel like people are testing you, make sure to defend yourself, defend your stance. Also remember, though, you could be a little bit worn out, tired that day, or feel on guard, feel frustrated. It's just energies, right? So this is also, if you're taking on too much, it's challenging, but you got this. Just be aware that you could burn out, and if you got other people, starting or testing you, pick your battles. Saturday, I see the Four of Cups, right? So again, Saturday's bringing up an energy of retreat. Maybe it's a little bit of taking a step back. Maybe you feel a little bit bored on Saturday. You're wanting something, you're not receiving attention. Don't reach out of boredom. That's what I'm going to tell you on Saturday. If something's getting started for you, it looks to me like some of your fears of disappointment get into you this week, because something feels too good to be true. You are being asked to have faith this week, all right? And what I see spiraling and returning, it could be your old fears of somebody not wanting you, somebody not being interested, you wanting to reach too quickly out of anxiety. These patterns can be showing up for you, and you are being asked to have some faith here, right? Because somebody will be coming in. It just may not be exactly when you want it to on Saturday, right? So watch out for boredom. Now, your advice for the week, remember the Three of Pentacles. Things are coming together for you, all right? Three of Pentacles say ground yourself, all right? Everything's coming together, help's coming in, partnerships are coming in, teaming up with somebody's coming in, things working out for you, and finding things to do, and things are building. So you're in an earlier stage, and it's easy to get lost in this, not feeling like something's working out, all right? That's what I feel for you, but things are working out for you, Aquarius, this week. I love you. Pisces, your daily April 19th to the 26th, day-by-day breakdown, love and life. Let's see what's going on, the overall energy for you. We just had some powerful energies, the new moon in Aries, so something may have come up. And I'm seeing the Temple for you, all right? This is your body, and quieting the external noise. So some of you may be having issues come up, or, recently, or one of the biggest revelations. It's about your image, your body image, the way you feel attractive, the way you feel people see you in relationships, or wondering if somebody's attracted to you. And your self-worth in relationships, and knowing that it's more than just that, people got to love you for you, right? And lay it on the altar, hand it over, soften up and surrender, and forgive yourself this week, all right? It just does feel like a lot of maybe insecurity around how you think others view you in relationships. So let's see a breakdown of Sunday through Saturday for you. A lot of worry and anxiety that God's asking you to surrender to and soften up, and, give yourself a little bit of love. It feels like the Empress energy wants to come through for you too. Sometimes we can be really hard on ourselves, especially if you just had a kid, or, you know, or you have kids, you're a mom, or you know, you're a man, but you don't feel like you're, you know, the way you used to be. You know, things like that can affect us in love relationships. Now, I am seeing the Knight of Wands, so you may be surprised this week, right? Somebody coming towards you, some passion coming towards you, more confidence coming towards you, and, you know, something exciting, right? And having more fun and lightening up and releasing these worries that you may have and just having a freaking good time, because this is what people love about you, is that obviously you must have some sort of chemistry, some, you know, you're very magnetic when you're feeling good about yourself. But with the energies that just went through or just happened, you know, what comes up, it could be inside, you know, like you're realizing, man, I hold myself back because of this. And whatever that is what Spirit's asking you to give yourself a little bit of love. But, you know, if it's that important to you, is it something that you can do something about? So Sunday, I'm seeing the Six of Pentacles, a lot about reciprocation. You know, maybe you feel like you give more, or you're not feeling supported, or you don't get back what you put in, right? Or you're always being friend zoned, or feel like, you know, you're being friend zoned. This can also be worries about money and finances, you know, wondering when your payout's going to be. You give so much, you work so hard, but you're not getting paid enough. So you are questioning a lot of these things right now, and they do affect your love relationship. On Monday, I'm seeing the Page of Cups, so there could be a new energy of love coming your way. Somebody who really does have, it depends on where you're at in a relationship, but somebody could have a crush on you and just really want to get something started with you, but maybe picking up a vibe, you know, from you, not sure if you're interested, right? If it's new. But if not, somebody could really be interested in you, Pisces, but you may be feeling this insecurity about it, and that's what's holding you back, or that's what's doubting it. I always talk about, you know, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, your thought or somebody's reactions to you, right? If you're thinking somebody is not interested, most likely your choices and your actions towards this person are going to cause them to react in a way that proves you right. All right. So I do see communication and messages coming on Monday. And it may even start, or something's questioning, or something's happening. You may receive something on Sunday that that does validate this as well too. And we have Tuesday, I'm seeing the Eight of Pentacles. So some of you, there could be a new job if you're worrying about your finances this week, if you're worrying about your skills and wondering, you know, maybe you have to ask for a pay raise. Maybe that's what's coming towards you. It could surprise you. You may get a pay raise if you're worried about finances. But for some of you also, it's like, where are you giving your time and energy? Could you give a little more if you're worried about finances? Now, if you're not worried about finances or any of these things, what this is telling me is that there could be a gift coming in for you. We do see connecting with somebody, maybe even new love on Monday. And we're seeing everything's kind of work related on Tuesday. Like you're just getting things done and getting organized, and you're very valued for your skills. So you may get a payout of some sort and feel like everything's great on Tuesday. Wednesday is the star card. You're the star of the show. It looks like Wednesday, very beautiful energy, somebody very attracted to you. Remember, what you desire desires you. So this could be a moment of truth and learning to trust again in your manifestations, learning to trust in all the work you put through. If you've gone through some major tower moment in your life, you could see some spark of truth, clarity, light coming in, unexpected occurrence coming in that may shift your new direction. You may start to see the light, feel good again, feel attractive again, feel like you're in the center of the attention, right? So getting somebody's attention. A lot of wishes coming true here on Tuesday, Wednesday for you. So a lot of signs were, you know, kind of having to struggle that day, but it seems like you're looking pretty good on Wednesday. And this is also about having extra faith on Wednesday too, that everything's going to pull through. You'll, by the end of the evening, hopefully even by the end of the week, something that you've been wishing or praying for is coming through for you. Thursday, I see the Six of Wands. So there you are, reaching that goalpost, right? So whatever internal struggle or battle or confrontation that you may have had with somebody or having with other people, seems like you're finding resolution. You're getting a lot of attention here. This week looks like you are getting a lot of attention. So underline the root of that. You may be doubting yourself. So maybe this week is validation for you that people do not see you the way you think they do. People are very attracted to you, find you very beautiful, very, very cute, very adorable, beautiful here with the star card, and very confident. So you must carry yourself very well, but you could be questioning yourself underneath, right? Wearing a mask here, and people don't really see what's going on. So that's coming up for you. If anything's been holding you back, it looks like that part of you is being cleared out. Now, this could be a return of somebody or getting attention from somebody. And it also could be that you're leveling up and you're into a new position, right? But it feels like on social media, you're being accepted, or people really replying to you. You're getting the attention that you deserve. Friday, I'm seeing the 5 of Cups, right? So Friday, you could be feeling in an energy where you're feeling down, feeling a little bit disappointed or fearful that something's not going to turn out your way. Remember, it could be an old feeling coming up. You could be doubting yourself again. You could be feeling some guilt about the way you've done something in the past. You could be beating yourself up. Somebody may pull away from you. You know, after this huge high you're having at the beginning, this part of the week, you know, this is where your wound can come up. You know, you could feel abandoned, or you abandon yourself, or, you know, you start questioning whether or not all this is true. All right. So be aware of Friday could be a day where you get emotional. Right. And it's a feeling, it's an energy, you know, we embrace it, we can turn it around. Saturday, I'm seeing the Empress card again. So it looks like you're coming back. And I said the Empress at the beginning of the reading. So for me, Pisces, it feels like you might be battling something internal, something that you kind of hide on the outside. People see you as very beautiful and nurturing and caring and lovely. And you may be questioning yourself, whether it's your health, whether it's your body, whether it's, you know, any insecurity that might be coming up for you. But we're seeing in here that this week is showing you where people see you so differently than maybe you think they do. And we're seeing growth coming in. So even more manifestations coming in on Saturday, maybe feeling like people are being kind to you. You're leaning back. People are showing up for you. Your self-worth is definitely going to be tested maybe this week on some level. But by the end of the week, I feel like you're going to know damn well where you sit and where you stand and wearing that crown. You have a lot of major arcana showing up for you. The star and the Empress is really big. So your advice is, come on, don't settle for less. The 7 of Cups, go after the big shiny ones. Go after with the best. So, you know, you may have a lot of choices and you may be settling for situations that are not fulfilling. You may be not aiming high because of some insecurity you're dealing with, but Spirit is really pushing you. God's pushing you to choose the thing that scares you the most this week and go for it, because you're the Empress or the Emperor. It doesn't matter what gender. I love you guys. Take care.